Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima. Book 3. Darkness. Chapter 7. Quiet like a Cat. Strombolio stared into the closet for a long time. He could have sworn it was here. Where could it have gone? The door slammed open behind him. The team didn't have time to react as wendigos flooded the room. Jack Thunder and Buckthorn drew their anima fragments, but these wendigos were too quick. They struck and held the team fast. Stormbringer and the Sea Stone flew backwards onto the floor behind them, sliding to a stop at the opposite wall. The only one who had managed to get out of the way was Shadow-Paws. He ducked into a dark corner of the room where the wendigos couldn't reach. He could only watch in horror at what happened next. Like a receding wave, the wendigos drew back out of the room, dragging the rest of the team with them. Outside the door, Shadow-Paws could hear the voice of Nemesis, the being that he and Strombolio thought they could trust. Good work. Without the fragments of Anima, these interlopers stand no chance against us. Those fools back from the Turquoise Archipelago could learn a thing or two from you. Well, that sealed it. Nemesis was working with the wendigos. Probably was the reason Lethal Joke went missing too. Shadow-Paws crept out of his hiding place, picking up the discarded staff and pendant. Thank Anima that those monsters hadn't managed to get those too. Now he just needed to find Strombolio and the others without being caught. Shadow-Paws crept around on little cat feet, which was appropriate since he was a cat. He held Stormbringer close to his body, trying to keep it out of sight. Not an easy task, seeing how it was twice as big as he was. The Sea Stone was a bit easier to handle. He just wore it around his neck. Both fragments pulsed frantically, threatening to give his position away. Despite their bright glow, Shadow-Paws could hardly see 2 feet in front of him in the gloom. His Nekomata eyesight was of little help in this unnatural darkness. Not even his incredible ears did him any good. He couldn't even hear a pin drop. Eventually, he made his way to the end of the corridor. He was back in the amphitheater. Even in here it was eerily silent. He looked around for any sign of Strombolio and the others. As much as he wanted to call out for them, he couldn't give away his position. Finally, he spotted them. They were still glued in place, just now in the center of the stage. Frosty and Strombolio were stuck like flies to one of the poles the trapeze platform hung from. Jack Thunder, Buckthorn, and Son were fastened to the other pole on the other end of the stage. Razor was stuck to the ground nearby, hissing and spitting at Nemesis. "I already told you I haven't seen it." Strombolio's defiant voice broke the silence. "Enough with the lies. I know who you are. You are the Dark Champion of Alterus, the one Harlequin gremlin that ever managed to slow us down. I know you have the Dark Fragment around here somewhere. Now where is it?" So Nemesis didn't take it then. Shadow-Paws' shoulders relaxed, if only slightly. But then, where would it be? He noticed Stormbringer and the Sea Stone pulsing again. This time they glowed purple. Before Shadow-Paws could ponder what this meant, he remembered something that Strombolio had once said about the anima fragments. Something about how they could sense each other's presence. Yeah, that's what he'd said. Because he was talking about how Lethal Joke had helped him find Stormbringer again when the wendigos knocked it out of Son's hand. Now it seems it's time for Stormbringer to return the favor. Shadow-Paws encircled the perimeter of the stage at a distance. As he crept forward, the staff's pulses gained speed. He was getting warmer. Nemesis, for its part, wasn't paying attention. It was too focused on its captured quarry. Strombolio, on the other hand, had very much noticed Shadow-Paws' presence. He met its gaze with the Nekomata for a split second. His head moved back into position, but Shadow-Paws could see that the Harlequin gremlin was still tracking him with his eyes. Eventually, Shadow-Paws came across a stack of crates against the back wall. Both Stormbringer and the Sea Stone glowed with an intensity that would have brightened the whole room if it hadn't been for the Wendigo's draining influence. Shadow-Paws heard Nemesis continue to interrogate Strombolio as he rooted through the boxes one by one. With every box emptied, the Anima fragment's pulses grew stronger. Empty boxes and their contents littered in a precarious pile behind him, Shadow-Paws opened up the last crate. It was a bit bigger and longer than the others. Stormbringer glowed bright white, as if to say, "Yes, this is the one." When he lifted the lid, he was met with a bright violet glow. He couldn't believe his eyes. A massive bazooka painted in pink and purple met his eyes. A glaring smiley face was emblazoned on its side. Lethal Joke had been in here all along. Suddenly, the mountain of empty boxes shook and collapsed. Nemesis turned around at the crashing sound. Shadow-Paws froze as Nemesis met eyes with him. He had been caught. "Get him!" Shadow-Paws grabbed the dark fragment out of the box. He pulled the trigger again and again, launching laughing gas grenades left and right. In his terror, he couldn't even aim straight. The monsters closed in on him even as the gas slowed them down. Shadow-Paws dashed away as a black claw scratched his leg. He carried Stormbringer in one hand and Lethal Joke in the other as he made his way to the stage. In their haste to capture him, the Wendigos had abandoned their former charges. The team was free from the bonds of the Wendigo substance. Shadow-Paws just needed to get the other two fragments to their wielders. He tripped and fell on the last step to the stage, sending the fragments sliding. The Wendigos dive-bombed at them, but Jack Thunder and Buckthorn managed to grab Stormbringer and the Sea Stone before the Wendigos could snatch them. A few bolts of lightning from Stormbringer forced them back into the air. "Impudent cat boy. I should have known you would betray me." Shadow-Paws raised his head to look at Nemesis. What he saw filled him with abject terror. Nemesis's form was completely black, the same as the Wendigo's. Its head looked to be a goat skull with vicious fangs. Its blood-red eyes, glowing with malice and hatred, narrowed. Nemesis wasn't working with the Wendigos. It was one of them. "It's of no matter now. You still can't defeat all of us at the same time. Your fragments are as good as ours." Jack Thunder leapt between Nemesis and Shadow-Paws. He stared defiantly up at the Wendigo. "You and what army, ugly?" he taunted, brandishing his staff. All of a sudden, the entire amphitheater lit up. Shadow-Paws bolted to his feet. Filling the seats were row after row of the carnival's attendants. Each one stared towards them with a blank expression and black slime running from their mouths. Above their pale forms, uncountable Wendigos circled the stage like vultures. The color drained from Jack Thunder's face. Oh, that army. Hi there, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like more from our friend Jack Thunder, you can check out my new book series, Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima, on Amazon using the link in the description. Or you can head on over to my Teespring and grab a few things from my shop. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content every week. Thank you for watching.